We come for the physical, tangible, leading edge experience of the expansion of the universe. In other words, when you speak of us as if we are out there, while we are non-physical energy, the leading edge of this non-physical energy that you see out there is in here where you are. In other words, you are the leading edge. You are the culmination of all of that which is in the process of becoming. So when you say, what is the big picture? First, we want to talk about this interim thing that you were talking about, this wobbling, and are we all working together so that man can come into greater consciousness, so that collectively you can soothe something and maybe bring something back into rightness? And we want to say it is not about that at all, because the contrast in which you are all living is what promises the expansion of the idea, and the expansion of the idea is what promises the continuation of that which we are all knowing as life. So there is no risk of any of this coming to an end. In other words, it isn't about something needing to be saved. It's about wanting the platform in which I can have a reason to focus in joy. And it is so interesting to us that so many of our dear friends who are in human form have a hard time accepting that all of this and all that has been before is toward that always unfolding end. The best story that we ever heard that answers this question was the young man who said, why does my dog put its head out the window? The biggest question that was burning within him. His friends tried to talk him out of asking such a silly question. And we said, it's the best question that we've ever heard, because the answer is the answer that we've always wanted to give you. He said, why does he put his head out the window and risk getting bugs in his eyes? And we said, because the ride is so worth it. In other words, it is so exhilarating to be here and to have the experience of wanting just beyond where I am and then bring myself into alignment, and then that momentary settling in to the genius that is me, and right on the heels of it, the new desire being born again. In other words, it's all for the evolution of life. But when we say life, we're talking about the life that is burning within you. We're talking about the life that is calling you. We're talking about that feeling when you wake up in the morning and you are so eager to jump into whatever it is that you have motion about, you see. It is the living of life. And the thing that we want you to hear is that we are non-physical energy, and we have the capacity to live life. We have the ability to think. We have the ability to reason. We have the ability to chat with one another. But there is no living of life that is more delicious for us than to pour through the being that is you and dwell with the new ideas that you are giving birth to, because it's the leading edge thought that rings our bells. It is the leading edge thought that rings all of our bells, you see. It is the expansion that is the juiciness and the deliciousness of life. That's why when you feel yourself stagnating, you can hardly stand it. And when you get stirred up so that you're reaching for something more, it feels so good. That's why you'd rather be in a fight than you would bored. Because you'd rather have juices flowing than not flowing, even if they're flowing away from something that you think you want. We've talked over time about the basis of all of this being freedom and the purpose of it being joy. And the result of all of that is expansion. But we want to say it in response to your very well thought out and spoken question, that the result absolutely will be expansion. In other words, that is a given. The universe is established in that way. There is so much variety and so much consciousness perusing the variety, and so much leading edge worthiness summoning more, that expansion must be. It will never cease. It must be. There is no turning back. There must be expansion. But to have conscious awareness of expansion is to have joy in expansion. When you not only know that it will expand, but you understand how it is that expands, and you understand how to keep yourself up to speed with your individually, selfishly chosen expansion, that is the thrill of life, you see, and it's what we all live for. We are leading edge creators, and you are the leading edge that allows us the expansion. And for us to get to feel the visceral involvement, here we are, knowing who you really are, aware of where you are, and we get the thrill of calling you into this momentary completion. And when you come, nobody loves it more than us. In other words, those thrills you feel when you come into alignment, that's our rejoicing. That's where we are. You allow that for all of us, you see. You don't give yourselves nearly enough credit for your part in this eternal game of never-ending life, you see. So when you look at a world that has things that are going wrong and it breaks your heart or hurts you in some way or another, be happy in the sense that your awareness of it is giving birth to a better world. And the better world is becoming. So then we might say, you might say, it would sound better coming from you than it does from us, given the premise, the lofty premise that you began with. Well, you mean, Abraham, then, that I'm here exploring the contrast so that I can define from my human potential in this physical environment a better world? And we say, yeah, that's how powerful you are. And you say, little old me? And we say, that's how powerful you aren't. And you say, lofty me? And we say, not so powerful. And you say, empowered me? Brilliant me? Leading edge me? You mean I came forth and I get to chew on contrast, and you mean what I think matters? And we say, it matters so much that the entire universe will line up behind it. In other words, you all are causing the expansion of this leading edge environment, and you're not giving yourself credit for it. That's why you want to call it lofty. And we don't want you to call it lofty. We want you to call it normal. We want you to come to knowing the power with which you came into this environment. And we want you to thrill at the negative emotion in understanding that something's been born. And we want you to look hard for what it is that's been born. And we want you to try to find alignment with it, even though it's hard, even though it's over there and you might be over here. And we want you to feel proud every step you take closer to it. And we want you to begin to feel that being on that brink of that wave. And we want you to feel the satisfaction of coming into alignment. And we want you to feel our harmony with you when you find alignment. And then we want you to revel in the manifestation that screams in around you and supports your alignment. And we want you to feel proud of what you've accomplished. But most of all, we want you to feel proud here and here and here and here and here and here and here. We want you to feel glad for your participation in it. So then we get to the big questions. And again, what was all that for? Toward what? And we say, toward more opportunity to have more joy. Jerry and Ester took their children and grandchildren to Disneyland. And as the little ones just went from fun thing to 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 fun thing, Ester thought, this is the way everyday life should be for everyone on the planet. There should just be now, what should we focus upon to make ourselves feel happy? Now, what should it be? Now what? Now what? What now? What now? But it requires making a trek into worthiness. It requires making a trek into understanding that you are leading edge. You have to let go of the idea that you're unworthy here to prove worthiness, because you can't prove worthiness from a place of unworthiness. It defies law. You can't feel unworthy and get worthy. You just can't. So our words are, you came for the obvious expansion that is a given, intending to guide it in a way that would be thrilling. Not to fix something, nothing's broken. Not to change something, nothing needs to be changed. For the thrill of being involved in the expansion. You're expanding beings in the perfect arena for expansion that we've ever seen. Because not only does this arena give you plenty of stuff to think about and give birth to plenty of desires, but it gives you the opportunity to feel where you are in relationship with it, and it will manifest around you to give you evidence of how in alignment or not you are with the things you want. It's just the best of all worlds. The perfect place to be. Not lofty at all. Perfectly normal. Exactly as you knew it would be.
And that's why you came. Thank you.
Oh, why did we come? We play with you because in your contrast, you launch a desire that we become. So in the contrast, you rein us into the equation because we are the less resistant you. We are the essence of you that immediately becomes one with your dream. So you can't leave us out of the equation. When you dream something, we become what you have dreamed. And then we beckon you in every way we can toward the fulfillment of it. And, you're really going to like this. This is that new leading edge thing that you were reaching for. Even though we have become it, we get to enjoy the visceral feeling of you moving into it.